Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. In this pick a card video, I wanted to do a specific message of empowerment and of encouragement because I feel like we are all in a place right now that we might need those encouraging words or something that helps motivate us. And before this, I was actually listening to some very powerful female vocalists like Beyonce and Christina Aguilera and Pink, and I was thinking they share such great messages with so much power, and it just made me feel very empowered. So I was like, well, maybe I can make a pick a card video about this with your message of empowerment or anything you need to hear to become more motivated. So you can take these messages as whatever you want, as for whatever you are asking about. So when it comes to just your life in general, perhaps to relationships or to career, whatever it is, you can take these messages how they fit. And as you can see, we have 3 decks to choose from. So we have for deck number 1 the amethyst, then for deck number 2 we have the selenite, and for deck number 3 we have the lapis lazuli. So you can go ahead and pause the video if you like to pick your card, pick your crystal, pick the deck that you feel drawn to, and once you have picked your deck, you can skip to your reading using the timestamps down below. Hello for those of you who picked pile number 1 with the amethyst. So the deck that you chose has a pink purplish color, and the amethyst is also purple, and with the color pink I feel like you might just be in need of some love, just someone who shows that they care for you and shows that they love you. So in case you were looking for anyone to give you some love, well, let me tell you, I love you and I am happy to have you here. So let's get into your reading and see what other messages of encouragement or motivation are for you. So I will start shuffling the tarot at first to get like an overall vibe, an overall idea of what the messages are for you. We have the 6 of coins, the 6 of pentacles. So I definitely feel like, because the 6 of pentacles is about balance, it's about give and receive, that you want someone to give you love. You feel like you have been giving love, like in general, just in general to people. I don't feel like it's to one person in specific, but you just wish that that love is reciprocated basically. And at the next card we have the 3 of Wands. So there is this little fairy looking out into the distance, and with this I feel like you are indeed again looking for someone or for something to give you that love that you are looking for. And I feel like you're waiting for it basically. It's not like you're really taking action to, like you're actively searching for someone who could give you that love. You're not doing that. You're actually just staying by yourself, knowing how much you are worth basically, and you're just waiting for the right person to come to you basically. You're really cultivating that self-love, which is really good, especially in the times that we are in as of now, as in 2021. I feel like it's the best time to basically start cultivating your self-love and to start on that self-love journey. So as the next card we have the 9 of Pentacles, which again talks about loving yourself, putting yourself first. It talks even about empowerment in specific. We have 2 Pentacle cards which are all about being grounded, which are all about practicality. And here I just pulled out the Four of Wands. So again, I feel like there is someone that you want to establish a stable connection with, basically. It doesn't have to be, I feel like you're not looking for anything in specific. It's not like a business relationship or anything like that, that you have a list like, this is what I expect from you, this is what I want you to give to me, and this is what I can offer you. It's not like that. It's more like you're looking for something that, although is very practical and is very stable, it's something that flows. It's something that's very passionate. It's something that is sympathetic. It's not something that is planned out ahead, but you want something that it just works, it just clicks. It's just, you want something simple, basically. You want some simple love. And I see with the Nine of Pentacles and with the Six of Pentacles that you are able to give yourself that love that you require. It's not like you need anyone else, although you might be looking for that in whatever way or whatever kind of person, whatever your situation is. But I see that you can give it to yourself. Like right now, you're looking towards the horizon. You're looking for someone else. But the truth is that it's already within you. You do not need a second person to give you that love. Although that is a very beautiful thing, of course, to have someone give you the love that you give them. But first of all, like, your first priority should be yourself and giving yourself love and watering yourself, basically. If you could see yourself as a plant, then you should be watering yourself. And it doesn't mean that you cannot give love to others, or you cannot become, like, you cannot have a relationship with anyone else, but your own well-being and your own self-love and your own self-care is what is really important right now. We have the Three of Swords, and at the back of the deck we have the Six of Swords. So with these two cards, I feel like you in the past had some type of heartbreak, or you got hurt in some way. It could have been way in the past, for example, when you were still a child and your parents hurt you in some kind of way. You might have some kind of childhood trauma, or you had a childhood trauma, because I see with the Six of Swords that you have definitely moved on from it, or you are moving on from it. You're in the process of healing that. And I see that you recognize that whatever it is that was hurting you, that made you feel like the Three of Swords, so like just hurt, like hurting your heart, like your emotions were hurt, your feelings were hurt, people didn't understand you, people didn't understand where you were coming from, they didn't understand what you were struggling with. Perhaps you even had to see a psychiatrist for it, and people did not understand that, or people bullied you for it. But now you recognize that everything that has happened in the past, and you are healing from it. There's even this huge moon on this card, which tells me that you are healing it, and you are moving on from it. You are moving into calmer waters, because that is what the Six of Swords is about. It's moving on from a difficult time into calmer waters. So whatever it is that you have been through, pile number one, I see that you are now healing from it. Perhaps you have already healed from it, and now it is time to start watering yourself. Like I said before, it's time to give yourself that self-love. And as I am saying this, I just saw the timer go to 11:11, so that is confirmation that you are on the right path, that this path of self-love is what you need. It's all you need right now, basically. Like I said, there is no one else that you need to give you the love that you are looking for. It's all within yourself already. You've proven it to yourself by moving on from this heartbreak or this pain that you've been in, that you've experienced. And I see that because you have experienced this and because you have healed from it, that at one point, once you're ready for it, of course, you are able to share this experience with other people and actually inspire them to maybe talk more freely about their struggles and their problems, or to seek out help sooner than they actually would have if you would have not been there, if you would have not told your own experience. So I see that besides like healing yourself and loving yourself, you will also inspire other people once you are ready to share your experience, of course. And that is a very, very beautiful thing to do, pile number 1. So let's move on to some oracle cards with some more specific messages for you. You might be crying a lot, or you might have cried a lot in the past because of everything that had happened, and because you were never sure, you were never really sure if you would really arrive to this point of the 9 of Pentacles, which is that point of self-love, self-worth, self-confidence, empowerment, and all those things. But you have ended up there. And it might be hard for you, or it might be difficult for you to actually see that or to recognize that. So this video, this message for you is to tell you that you are such an incredible person for everything that you have already achieved in your life, what you have achieved in your personal development and in your healing and your self-love journey. And you can really look back on your life and who you were in the past and be really proud of what you've accomplished. So here we have the card Earth School, life lessons, soul growth, study, higher learning. So again, what I said before with the fact that you will be able to share your experience with others, because it says higher learning. So I feel like you might be learning, you might be teaching other people of your experiences, and you might not be ready for this right now, you might not feel like you're ready for this right now, and that is totally okay, of course. But this card is basically telling you that at one point you will get there. You might even create a complete new school or a program or a course or whatever that will solely focus on your experience. The next card is perspective. None of this matters. Zoom out. Common ground. So this card is completely black with a moon in the middle and a couple of stars. And it's completely zoomed out, as you can see. And as the card also says. So it's I see it's almost not even visible on the table. That's really funny. So with this card, it's telling you to indeed zoom out and to look at things from a higher perspective, that what you are going through right now might be difficult at this time, and you might not be in the place that you want to be right now, but none of this matters. None of those doubts and those worries that you have at the moment, that you might not be good enough, or that you're not sure that you are going to achieve what you want to achieve, or that you can actually achieve your dreams. None of that matters. What matters is where you will be in the end, and the cards are telling you that you will be in this place in your life where you are able to share your experiences. And I think, in my humble opinion, that once you are able to talk about your past struggles, that means that you not only have healed from it and you have accepted that, but you are also able to understand it from a higher perspective, so that you become the teacher. You start to teach people, because from your experience, you are able to teach people and to talk to people about this. And that is a sign that you have really grown and you have really evolved. For me, it's like the final stage. Like you start off with something that you struggle with, like some kind of trauma or some kind of pain that you suffered, and then you heal from it, like the Six of Swords is saying. And then at one point you start to give yourself love and you start to accept yourself and you tell yourself it's okay, it doesn't matter, it's all in the past now. Who I am right now is the only thing that matters. And I feel like for most of you, you are at that point right now, or you are almost there. And then after that, once you are like confident about like your self-development basically and about your healing, that is the point when you will be able to share your experience and to inspire others. And again, like I said, that for me is the end of that journey, to be able to talk about it and to inspire others. Because if that is not like the purpose of learning a life lesson and of having experience, then what is? Like, what else is there than to inspire others and to make it better for the people that come after us? So this is a very beautiful message, pile number 3. Here at the back of the deck, I also had the Seas of Mintaka, seeing potential, bringing unconsciousness to light. So again, with that message, I feel like you will be sharing something that is very important and that, you know, others might have not talked about a lot. It might be one of the reasons why you were struggling with that in the past so much. So whatever that means for you, pile number 1, just fit it as it needs to fit. I know I gave the example of going to a psychiatrist or being bullied before, but it could be anything. It could be abandonment issues, it could be heartbreak, it could be codependency, like anything that you were struggling with in the past, you will use it to inspire others. So let's go for a next message for you, pile number 1. I feel like there's a lot of healing in your future. A lot of healing. And that is honestly a good thing to happen. I feel like you will welcome it. You will be happy with it. You might be connected to the moon because we have the 2 cards with the moon in it. So you could be Cancer. Your zodiac sign could be Cancer, or have that in any specific in a specific placement, but doesn't have to be. You could be any other water sign as well. These cards are very, very energetic, but then there's not one card that wants to come out. Okay, let's see. We have New Moon in Libra, a new romantic cycle begins. So this will be the beginning of a new romantic cycle when it comes to, especially self-love, is what I feel like. That is something that you will be focusing on. And with that, with focusing on yourself, with developing that self-love and that self-care, and developing a self-care routine, maybe even, I feel like you will attract so much more than you could imagine. Like you might have ideas or dreams about like your future, what you want to achieve, what kind of people you want in your life. And I feel like once you have arrived to this point of being the teacher, like I was talking about before, you will experience so many new things and attract so many new opportunities to you. Like loving yourself and caring for yourself is the first step to everything, pile number 1. It's the first step in this beautiful journey of yours. So now as the last card, let's see what other message wants to come out for you. These cards are also very energetic. Perhaps you're really curious about what other messages you're going to get, pile number 1. Or you might just be a very energetic person. We have escape. Okay, so with this card, I feel like you want to escape from a certain situation. And at the back of the deck, we have fight. So I feel like there is something, a specific situation that you want to escape. Perhaps it's in your family life, like your parents might be a little bit too controlling or too worried about you, or you feel like you can't escape that home life, like you are just stuck at home for whatever reason. Perhaps it's your parents trying to control you, or perhaps it's, if you have children, that those children are keeping you at home because someone needs to care for them, of course. Or perhaps you are stuck in some kind of routine that you want to break out from. Like you're stuck in a rut, like you want to get out, you want to do something different, but you don't know how to get out of it. And again, the message is to zoom out, to look at it from a higher perspective. Like, none of this matters. Like, everything that you're going through right now are just tools for you to advance on this journey, on this self-love journey, basically. Like, are you going to remain stuck in this routine? Are you going to remain stuck in whatever situation that you are in? Or are you going to take yourself out of it? And that doesn't have to change like overnight. Doesn't mean that you suddenly have to go pack your things and leave. But you can take it step by step, even if they're like baby steps. If you can take these tiny baby steps towards where you want to go, you're already moving forward. So if there is anything that you want to get away from, that you want to escape, perhaps you just are in really need of a good vacation. And then this card is also advising you to take that vacation, even if it's just for 1 or 2 days, just for a weekend, that you go to a spa, or you just take a self-care day by yourself at home, or perhaps with some friends or some other people you hold very dear, and just surround yourself with positive and loving people, and take some time to really listen to yourself, really feel your body. Like, what is it telling you? Where do you feel anything uncomfortable? Like, where do you need to focus your energy? Like, anything that needs to be healed. Perhaps if you are very new into this, you could try out meditation. Especially, I feel like guided meditation on chakra balancing are very a potential thing for you to do, pile number 1. It could really benefit you to do that, because I feel like there might be some chakras who might be like misaligned. I don't really like to use that term, but let's just say there might be some chakras who need some more attention. And there are a lot of videos on YouTube about specific chakra meditations, or like the whole meditation that covers all the whole chakra system. Basically, there are so many options available on YouTube, so I really recommend you to look into that if you resonate with that message. And again, that is not something selfish to do, you know, like taking care of yourself or taking a self-care day. You're all doing it for yourself. And like the cards say, that is really the beginning of your journey. That is really the beginning of the journey, where you will end up as a teacher, where you will be able to inspire other people, and you will give, I don't know, perhaps lectures or things, and you will start off with your backstory, like, I used to be stuck in this, I used to be stuck in this situation, I used to let these people hold me back, but then I broke out of it, and I started to see things from a different perspective, and I started caring for myself more, and I started giving myself more love and attention, and that is how I got here. So pile number 1, that is a beautiful message of self-empowerment and encouragement. I really hope that you enjoyed this reading. I really hope you got a lot of love from it, because that is honestly what you deserve. So if you want to, you can leave a like, you can subscribe and leave a comment if you want to, and then perhaps I will see you on the next video. So bye guys. Hello pal number 2, and welcome to your reading. So you chose this deck with the selenite, and just before I started your reading, I really had the tendency to start to sing. So I started singing something that came up in my head, which was, I'm not perfect, but I'm worth it. Like, I don't know if that is from any song that already exists. Doesn't really matter. It doesn't remind me of anything. Perhaps it's meaningful for you, pal number 2. But I feel like that message just needed to come out. Like, I'm not perfect, but I'm worth it. So perhaps you are an aspiring singer or an artist of any other kind, and you're really working on that. You're really focused on that job, on that career basically, and you're like, well, even if I am not the best out there, even if I am not perfect, I am still worth it. So pal number 2, I really love that energy of yours. I really love that confidence. So let's get into your reading. We'll start with the tarot and see what other messages will be coming out of this. And if right now you are feeling very happy, I really hope you do, by the way, like, the universe is just congratulating you. Like, good job on being happy. Good job on enjoying this. Good job on enjoying, like, this silly intro of mine. So we have the 5 of materials and the 3 of emotions. All right. Okay, and at the back of the deck we have the lovers, so I feel like that's also significant, so I will also take it out. So I'm gonna be honest with you, pile number 2, what I'm seeing with this is that there might have been a time in the past that you were not confident at all, and there might have been some manipulative people in your life. Perhaps they could be friends, or at least people that you trusted and people you were close with, and they manipulated you and they talked behind your back or spread rumors behind your back, and that really hurt you because you were not expecting that from this person or from these people, but you found out that they were talking behind your back and you were just like, how do you say it? You didn't know how to react. You were just like dumbfounded, like, what the hell? I never saw this coming. How could they do this to me? And with the lovers, this could be a romantic relationship, like could have been a lover or a partner. Perhaps it's someone that you used to be married to, but it could also be just someone that you loved in general, someone that you trusted, someone that you gave your heart to basically. Perhaps it was your best friend and you spent your whole childhood together, and then you realized that they were actually talking behind your back with other people. Like, I get the feeling that this person that I am talking about, they were your friend, or they were in some type of relationship, like I said, with you, and that person was saying, oh, those other people, I don't like them. They are like, I don't know, they're a clique of people, and you know, they're not my type of people. But then behind your back, they started hanging out with those people that they said they didn't like. So to your face, they said, I don't like those people, but behind your back, they hang out with those people, and they might actually have told bad things about you. And you found out about that, and you were devastated. Devastated, that was the word I was looking for before. You were just devastated. You were like, this person was, I don't know, was my soulmate, was my best friend, was the person I told all my secrets to, and now they did this to me. Like, how could they? How could they do this to me? And yeah, I see you were devastated. You might have spent some days or just some time in bed, like alone, like in a corner, and you didn't want to speak to anyone. You were like, if I can, like, if this person betrayed me, if my best friend betrayed me, if my lover betrayed me, how can I ever trust anyone else again? Like, how am I supposed to go out into the world and just act like nothing happened and start creating new relationships with other people? Like, how could I do that? It would feel like you would betray yourself for some reason. Like, you would feel like you would betray yourself, even though that is of course not true, pal number 2. You would not betray yourself if you go out and look for better people to hang out with. Like, it feels like you're mourning the person that you thought they were. You were still mourning that person. We have the 8 of Voices, which is the 8 of Wands. So after you found out about this person's betrayal, I feel like you were still trying to get back with them or to act like nothing had happened. But in the back of your mind, you knew that that was not the right thing to do, that you had to move away from those people. And I feel like for most of you, that triggered a very powerful awakening in you. So this might have been a spiritual awakening or just a complete change of perspective, but I feel like it had a very big impact on you guys, that you were like, oh, so this is how the world works. Well, okay then. So we have next the Page of Materials, and in contrast to all these other, or especially these two cards, the 5 of Materials and the 8 of Voices, this card it's very serene, it's very pretty, there are light colors, there are flowers in it, it's just a very calm vibe, basically, a calm energy, so in such a contrast to the rest. So because it's the Page of Materials, I feel like it took you some time to really move away from this person, and to also tell yourself that it's okay, that it wasn't your fault that things ended this way. It wasn't because you were not good enough that this person started talking behind your back. It has nothing to do with you. Like, you were worth it, you deserved it. Like I said before, I'm not perfect, but I'm worth it. It was that, like, I'm not perfect, but I deserve it is also a possibility. So you started to realize that you deserve it. And then we have Strength. So you really became the better person. You took the high road, you became the better person. You were like, I am not going to involve myself with these people anymore. They are below me, like whatever they want to do, they do, but I'm out of here. I really see that you just bailed, basically. You took your stuff and you ran. And you were like, nope, I'm not doing this anymore. I am choosing myself from now on, and let's just move on to greater things and to better things. And that has really provided you with that confidence that I was talking about before. Like, because you overcame these struggles, you have become so confident that, for one, I feel like you have this bullshit radar. So you know exactly when people are lying or talking bullshit or not being honest, and you just are on top of it. You know it. You can look someone in the eye and you know whether they are honest or dishonest. You have this very, very good and very well-working bullshit radar, basically, this people radar. And your friends, the friends that you have at this moment, they might be very impressed with that, or they may look at you and be like, how do you know? How do you know when someone is bullshitting or not? Like, you might meet someone on a party or whatever. Like, nowadays there aren't that many parties, but let's just say you and your friends, you go out somewhere and you meet new people, and then you just met these new people, and then of course respectfully you tell your friends like, this person is not, we shouldn't trust them, we shouldn't trust this person. That is like how on point you are. And then your friends are like, yeah, but how do you know? Like, how do you know that they, you know, might be a little bit of shady? And you're just like, well, I just know because I've been through this. Like, I have had people stab me in the back, so I now know how to recognize those kind of people. And I want to add to that pile number 2 that I don't, at this moment for you, I don't see any distrust with other people. You might be very careful when you meet new people and you're kind of like reserved because you first want to figure them out a little bit before you really start telling your story to them or really start hanging out with them. But I don't see that there is any kind of big distrust, which is, I mean, I have to congratulate you on that, to be able to still be able to trust people after what has happened to you. And that just shows how just a mature and a strong person you are. And like I said before, how you are able to take the high road. That's a very, very mature thing to do, and not everyone knows how to do that. So I really want to like praise you for that, pal number 2. It's really aspiring to be someone like that. Yeah, I again feel like you really want to be some kind of performer, like an artist or a musician. I really get that vibe again. We have here Breath of the Cosmos, my will to thy will, micromanaging the universe. So with this card and with what I was saying before about that you really have this radar with which you are able to tell whether someone's honest or not, you get how the universe works. You understand it basically. You understand the energy. You understand energy perhaps even. Sorry, I was trying to say you even understand energy, and perhaps you are a physicist or you are interested in physics. Perhaps you were interested in that in school, or you were very good at physics in school. It's something like that. It's like you understand it. You understand like the details, like the little mechanisms of the universe, and you're using it for beneficial things basically. You're not using it to like get back at other people or to gain something, to take advantage of other people or to take advantage of it basically. You're using it for beneficial purposes. Here we have loosen your grip, coping mechanisms, density, addiction, let God in. So perhaps in the past you have been struggling with some type of addiction. This could be anything from drugs and alcohol to codependency to gaming to food to anything. It could honestly be anything. And even though you might have been addicted to something in the past, I feel like you have not only moved on from that, but you are also teaching other people about it. So perhaps you're some type of counselor, or you're talking about it on YouTube or any other social media platform. You want to make people more aware about it. So you tell people that you came from a past that was not all roses and sunshine, basically. You didn't come from like a really nice family life or a nice neighborhood, or perhaps you didn't have the perfect school life or whatever. But despite that, you do not let that define you, and you actually use it to inform and to educate other people. And here we have the card Earth Pulsing, Pulse of the Mother, Slow Down Time in Nature, and my eye went directly to the word mother, so, and Mother Nature. So Mother Nature is really congratulating you on what you are doing, that you're inspiring other people. Perhaps it has something to do with the environment. Perhaps you're an activist, or your story has something to do with the environment or with climate change, and you're really using that to, like I said, educate other people. And Mother Nature, Mother Gaia is really congratulating you for that and wants you to know that you are loved and the earth appreciates you and appreciates everything that you are doing for it. Also, with the lion, you might be very involved with animals, like not just with the environment and with the climate, but also with animals. So you might work with, I don't know, like stray dogs, stray cats, anything like that, or more on a bigger scale that you actually work with like big cats, like lions, or it has something to do with that, with like conserving wildlife is what I'm hearing. It's something like that. I mean, you're just really mindful of the environment, not just of nature, but also of all the animals that live in it, and you're very conscious about it. That could also be what you were teaching about, and that in the past you were not so conscious about the environment, and you might have done some things that you were not proud of. I don't know, you might have worked in a company that dumped waste in, like dumps plastic in the ocean or dumps toxic waste in the ocean or anything like that, and now you are making up for it. And Mother Earth, like nature, is really congratulating and thanking you for that. So that is a very beautiful message for you. Pile number 2, just take it however it resonates. This could go a lot of ways, so whatever your situation is, apply it to that. Show the world the real you. Full moon in Aquarius, is it right? Yeah, Aquarius. So this again gives me that kind of stardom vibe, that you, like I said, you want to be some kind of artist, or perhaps you want to use your platform to spread awareness about animal wildlife, or about the environment, about the use of plastic, anything like that. So whatever it is that your dream is to do, whether that's being artist, a musician, a writer, like whatever it is, I see that in addition to that, you will use, or you want to use your platform for something bigger. And I see that at one point you might even become more known for the work that you do for the environment, rather than what this job is or this dream is that you have. So people will more know you like the activist, or like someone who cares for the environment, rather than like the musician or the artist. So that's very funny that it kind of evolves into that. So you might start off as an artist, but then you will start to be known more for what you do for the environment. So if you are interested in that at the moment, or if you are doing anything for the environment at this moment, then this is really a message for you to just keep going, because you're doing the right thing. The shadow. So what I see with this card is your past. Basically, there might be some people who want to bring up your past, or people from the past will come to you, but I see that you will lock the door on them, or you have to lock the door on them. Like, people might try to come back to you from the past, and because you have become successful, like you've become known for the things that you want to do, and now people are suddenly like, oh, Do you remember me from back then? Like, we met in, I don't know, high school, and then, like, the universe is telling you to be like, you know when someone is trying to fake it with you, when someone is bullshitting you, so don't let them get to you. Like, just because you are now in a spot that you are in the spotlight, it's not like you suddenly have to start accepting all kinds of people in your life. Like, you've cut them out before, and you have started to develop this whole story of yours of the environmentalist, the activist, and you shouldn't let anyone from the past, or any like doubts from the past or worries from the past hold you back or take you back to the place that you used to be. So just keep facing forward, pile number 2. That's basically what it's telling you. Now let's see, one last card for pile number 2. I think you already know, or I'm hearing that you already know. We have reconciliation. So again, with this, like, I feel like you will bring 2 things together. So you will educate people more on the environment or anything like that. Like I said, fit it however it needs to fit. You will educate more people on that, which will bring them closer to nature, which will bring them closer to animals, and which will make them more aware about their use of plastic or whatever they are doing to pollute the environment. And then we have the card creation, and with this card, I feel like you might even create some kind of platform, or you might create or start some type of discussion about this subject, about the environment, about taking care of planet Earth. I feel like you will spark some discussion there. You are a very fiery person, I feel like. So you might be a fire sign, or you have that in a specific placement. But I feel like you are very passionate and very fiery about this. So this message for you, it's basically saying that you have to keep going. You're already doing what you have to do, pile number 2. There's not much more to add to that, and it's a beautiful reading, especially where you came from, how your past has been. I also want to congratulate you on how far you've come. It's really so astonishing and inspiring, you guys. So I hope this message resonated with you, and I hope that it helped you. If you want to, you can leave a like, a comment, and subscribe. And then who knows, perhaps I will see you on the next video. Bye guys! Hello, pal number 3, and welcome to your reading. Now, before we start to get into the cards, I want to tell you that you are smart and intelligent as hell. Like, I don't know what kind of job you have or what you are involved in, but let me just tell you, you are smart. You have a lot of knowledge. You are wise. You have a lot of wisdom. That is something that's coming through so strongly, pal number 3. So I'm really curious to see what else kind of message comes out for you to get you motivated and get you to feel better. So you chose this deck with the lapis lazuli. Very nice. It's blue on blue. So let's see with the tarot what kind of other messages there are. Okay, so yes, you are smart, but you might not be very confident about that. I feel like for some of you, you might actually be a teacher of some kind. It could be a teacher in school, could be a spiritual teacher. You could also have like a younger sibling that you are taking care of and that you are teaching. but you are not very sure about your qualities. So we have the Six of Pentacles here. So for some reason, I feel like that some of you might not have even finished school, or that you're still in school. But there are so many people coming at you, asking you for advice or asking you for knowledge. Like, what do you know about this? Like, you know so much about this. Can I ask you this? And you're like, what the hell? Like, I am not that smart. Like, my parents always told me that I wasn't so smart. But now people come up to me and tell me, yeah, and ask me all these kind of things. Like the Two of Wands. Again, I get this feeling like you're a teacher. Like, whatever kind of teacher it is. Like a mentor of some kind. You just have a lot of knowledge on... It's like, how do you say it? It's like street smart. It's not book smart, but you're street smart. You have a lot of knowledge about the world. You have a lot of experience. It doesn't even matter what your age is, but you are just so smart. You know so much about the world that you yourself and other people both are kind of surprised. Like, how does this person know so much? Where do they get this all from? Are they like reading books all day long? But no, you don't. And but the lapis lazuli is a stone. It's all about intuition and inner knowledge. So probably everything you know they're just downloads. They're downloads from the universe. They're knowledge you have from past lives, or you're tapped in some kind of information source that you might not even be aware of. But I also feel for you, pile number 3, that the owl also is very representative of you, although there is no picture of an owl in this reading yet. But I just get the feeling that you were so wise. You have this inner wisdom, and you have this source where you get all that wisdom from, but you don't know where it is. You don't know where it comes from, but you have it, and you have that knowledge, but you're not too keen on sharing it. The Four of Pentacles, to me, it means that you have something, that someone has something, but they are holding on to it for dear life. So whether that is actual money, or whether that's knowledge, or like assets or anything, they hold on to it because they don't want other people to take it. So perhaps you have a lot of innovative ideas, a lot of creative ideas, but you don't want to put them out there because you're scared that someone might steal them from you, or someone might take credit from you. Perhaps it has happened to you in the past, that you were in this business relationship with someone else, like you were working on something together and then they took all the credit for it, and now you're like, I'm not going to do that again. I don't want to repeat that. And I see that with the Ace of Wands, that there is still a lesson for you to learn in that. That not all people are out there to get you. You might have had a bad experience with some people, but not everyone is like that. Like, there are people who see how awesome and how great you are. Like, you just have to find them, which also is it sounds much easier than it actually is. We have the Death card. So I definitely feel like you are an old soul. You know a lot. Perhaps your wisdom comes from that, just because you've had so many past lives. You know so much. I also, in addition to the teacher vibe, I also get a like motherly or fatherly vibe, that you just know how to work with children or with students, basically. Although again, you are not sure about your qualities. Like, there is the Sun, but we have the Seven of Pentacles next to it. So you're kind of doubting whether all these insights that you have are actually true. Perhaps these things that you know are just, it's information that you just know it, but there is like no backup for it. There is no scientific backup for it. It's not because you read a book, it's not because someone else told you, it's not because you watched a documentary on it, but you just know it. And because of that, because there is no real source, or no, how do I say this, like not a proven source for it, then you're unsure about it, whether it's actually true and whether it is a good idea to share it or to not. But you are sitting on so much knowledge that I feel like the universe, or like your spirit guides or your angels or whatever it is that you resonated with, they have been giving you these little pushes on to, they have been pushing you a little bit to share this information. They've been encouraging you. They've been telling you, like, you are right, you can trust your intuition, but still you look the other way. Still you're not so sure about it. So if even like your angels and your spirit guides are telling you to like trust yourself and to trust your intuition, then that is really all the confirmation you need, basically. Like, you just need to trust it. You need to trust that inner feeling because it's telling you the truth. And there are so many people who can benefit from your knowledge, but what I want to add to that, or what I'm hearing, is that even though other people benefit from this, from your knowledge, you should do it for yourself. You shouldn't become a teacher because other people want you to, or because it's beneficial for other people. You should do it because you yourself desire it and you like to share knowledge. We have the high priest, who is, in like my perspective, is also a teacher, is someone who is very wise, someone who knows a lot. And you do, like, you have all this spiritual knowledge, but it's not, you're hesitant to share it. Now the magician, sorry, the magician popped out. Perhaps you are a musician, or it's your dream, could be. And the magician talks all about having all the tools available to achieve and to manifest what it is that you want. And these are two very powerful cards next to each other. So not only do you have the knowledge and the experience, but you also have all the tools available to actually share that knowledge or to do something with it. The only thing that is left to do is to have the desire to actually do something with it, to actually manifest it. So that is basically the only thing, it's the only thing that is left to do. It's the only thing that's still necessary to happen, basically. The rest, it's all there. You just need to be confident of yourself that you can, because you can do this. You know all these things. You are so damn intelligent that people will be shocked once they hear you talking about it. And they're like, what? Where did this come from? How do you know all this? Perhaps you've been a very quiet or reserved person, or you just don't talk a lot about like your experiences and your knowledge. And once you start like pouring out all that knowledge, people will be like, who are you? Like, I've known you for so long already, but I've never heard you talk about this. And I mean, is there aren't many other things that make me so happy besides proving other people wrong and proving other people that there's more to you than meets the eye. So pile number 3, I hope that like resonates for you. It might be very specific, all of this, but fit it however it needs to fit, okay? But in general, I think, you know, this kind of teacher thing, it could resonate as anything. It could be anything, basically, like I said before. The 7 star sisters Birthing creations, tapestry of life, expression. So, wow, birthing of life. So, whatever it is, that the knowledge that you have, you can bring new things into being. You can create something from nothing. And this card also mentions the tapestry of life, which reminds me of the Akashic records, which is, I mean, I am not an expert on it, but you can see it as a library, which contains all the knowledge of everyone, of every soul from every past life. If you want to know more about it, there are tons of videos which speak more about it. Like I said, I'm not really an expert on it, so I can't explain it well, but it's basically in a library that you can channel information from. So perhaps this information that you are receiving, or this knowledge that you have, comes from the Akashic records. And I see there's so much that you can do with your knowledge and with your experience. Like the word expression really draws me in. You can express yourself with it. You can be so creative. You can create something out of nothing. You literally need nothing. You can create something out of thin air, which is what the magician is all about. It's like, as he is, like, his position, it's showing as above, so below. So from my own thoughts, from my own ideas, from my own manifestations, I create something in the 3D. And the same thing goes with your knowledge. Perhaps this knowledge that you have is not really something like that you know a lot about a subject, but it's more that you really know how to manifest well, or you really know how to work with people well. You really know how to manage people. It could also be something like that. It doesn't have to be any kind of, to be related to any kind of endeavor or anything like that. Big picture thinking, Pleiades energy, visionary, inspired ideas. You are a visionary, pile number 3. You have so many ideas in that head of yours that if they came out, you could create a whole new world. And you could actually be kind of like a daydreamer, or that you really like to make up scenarios in your head. Perhaps you've created, or when you were younger, or when you were a child, you created this fantasy world in your head with all these characters, with all these animals, perhaps even creatures that do not exist in, like, on Earth basically. But you have such a vision, you are such a visionary, you have so much creative energy and so much passion to create like new ideas and to be inspired to have new ideas, that what I'm seeing is that there's just this stream of energy and this stream of creativity, this stream of passion coming down on you, and you're channeling all of that, but you want to do something with it, but you don't know how to do it. You don't know what to do with it. You feel a little bit like shy to actually use it for something, because people might have told you in the past that like creative endeavors, they are not, they don't give you like financial stability. Like if you want to be a painter, or I'm just taking that example of a painter, that you cannot earn your money with that. Or if you want to be a singer, you cannot earn your money with that. It's only a very few people that are able to actually like make a living with that. But like those might be your doubts, because people used to tell you that, but that is just a belief system. Like what the magician also talks about is anything that you believe, any belief system that you have, will manifest in your reality. It will be reality. So once you let go of that idea that only like in a company, or just in a stable job, only in those positions I will be able to make a living and I will be able to have that financial stability. Like that is one belief system. But once you let go of that and you believe and you know that with other things you can also earn money, then that will be your reality. So like I said, if you want to be a painter and you start believing that you can make money with such a creative endeavor, then you will be able to do that, no matter like what your parents or what the people around you used to say, like, oh, you should be in school, or oh, you should get your certificate, or you should start working immediately after you graduated. Like, let all of that go. Like, don't listen to that. Don't listen to that. Like, you know so much and you have so many creative ideas that you can use all of that. You might even be multi-talented, pal number 3. I don't really see that there is one kind of endeavor or one kind of area that you are very talented in, but anything creative, like writing, painting, singing, making music, like creating, I don't know, tarot decks, or just anything. It could be anything, like big picture thinking, meaning even if you have multiple like creative hobbies or creative interests, you can do all of them. Well, maybe not all of them, but you can do more than one. You don't have to focus on just one thing. You could focus on multiple things. You can be multiple things. It doesn't always have to be just one. And again, this is also a kind of belief system. It's something that you believe that you should only be doing one thing. You're like either you only have one role. You're just either a painter, but you can't be a painter and a musician. You can't be a mom and I don't know, an astronaut or anything like that. You can combine anything if you believe that it is possible. So pal number 3, the message for you is to believe in the impossible and it will come into reality. That is a very powerful message for you, pal number 3. Keep thinking big. Like, there is this quote that reminds me of this quote, and I can't remember who said it and how it exactly goes. If you know, please leave a comment down below. But there's this guy who says, I always dream big because if I fail, then at least I stay humble. So I dream as big as possible because then at least I stay humble. Hold your vision. Wow. Again, the word vision, visionary, I'm gonna place it next to this card. The vision, pal number 3. It's the vision. Even if what you're thinking about, what your vision is, what you want for the future might be unconventional, might be something that has not been done before, it might be something that people don't really like, just do it. And if you don't feel ready for it at now, hold that vision, hold it in your mind, and just tell yourself that one day I will be ready. One day I will be ready to express that. Maybe not right now, but I will get to that place that I will be strong enough, I will be confident enough to share anything that I want to share. And perhaps people will at first not have the greatest positive reaction ever, but if you put something out there with love and with honesty and authenticity, then you will get that back in return, because that's how our reality works. Whatever you put out, you will get back. It's again exactly what the magician is talking about. Next card is communication is key. So you might have to work together with some people to actually achieve this, or to achieve your vision, to achieve your dream, or there could just be people involved with you in this dream that might have the same vision. They might be from the same soul family actually, or might be some kind of soulmate that will help you to achieve this, that will help you to believe in yourself. Because honestly, pal number 3, you should believe in yourself, because you are amazing and you are great and you are smart, like I said so many times before, and you have all the knowledge and you can do it as long as you believe in it. All right, let's pull the last card for you, pal number 3. I mean, if there was an inspiration, like a card in this deck that would say inspiration, I would be sure that would come out, but there isn't a card like that in this deck. But perhaps something related to it will come out, or maybe something completely different. So let's see. For pile number 3. Those are too many cards. Let's have one card, please. Pile number 3. I keep hearing such a visionary, such a visionary. We have blood. So on this card we see a tree who is bleeding, who is leaking blood. And this card talks about sacrifice. It talks about picking your fights, picking the fights that are worth fighting. So this gives me a kind of complicated feeling, pile number 3. I'm gonna be honest. This is a very complicated feeling. I'm going to word this as best as I can. So what I feel like is that you are hurt in some way, first of all, and you're scared that if you keep following your dream, if you keep following your vision, then you will keep getting hurt. You might actually lose something. You might lose the support of someone. You might lose financial support. You might lose your friends, your family. You might even have to give up your own job for this, to chase this dream. And that is why, or might be one of the reasons why you are hesitant to pursue this dream and to pursue the vision that you have. But the angels, in specific, the angels are telling you that it will all be alright. Because the blood, the amount of blood that we see on this card is not that much. There is just a little stain here, and it's not like there is this waterfall coming out of the tree. It's just a little bit. It might hurt just a little bit. You know that it kind of reminds me that sometimes when we have to do a medical test, for example, if we have to get our blood tested, so for sugar, for example, or for cholesterol or anything like that, we also have to give blood, which hurts a little bit, or might hurt a lot more depending on who you are, of course. Even if you are scared of blood, or if you are scared of needles, it becomes even more scarier to like have, someone take your blood for these kind of tests. But those tests will reveal whether you are healthy or not. So the angels are giving you this analogy to say that you might have to offer some blood, you might have to endure some pain to know whether you are healthy or not, or to know whether you're doing well or not. And the same is with this situation. You might have to hurt a little bit, you might have to lose some to gain some, you might have to lose some people and to leave behind some energy or some ideas to focus on what it is that you really want and to really achieve that. So again, it's about sacrifice. And even though it's not a nice thing to talk about, but sometimes it just works that way. You lose some, but you also gain some. And sometimes the gain, well, if we're talking about the situation that you are in, pile number 3, I can say for sure that the amount that you will gain from this will be so much more bigger than the loss that you have suffered. So whatever this is about, like, fit it to your situation, like, take it however it resonates. Sometimes you have to hurt a little bit to move forward. Sometimes you have to cut off a little bit of your past, cut off a little bit of your life to advance into the future. So pile number 3, this this last part of your reading was very deep. I hope it resonated with you. I hope it meant something to you, and I hope you will also remember everything else that this reading talked about, that you're so smart and intelligent and you can do whatever you want to do as long as you believe it. And I just hope that you really enjoyed this reading, and if you did, you can leave a like or a comment if you want to, and perhaps subscribe to stay updated on any future videos, and then perhaps I will see you in the next video. Bye guys!